Years of deep and mystical conversations with transdimensional beings led to the release of a series of theories known as the WingMakers Project. These theories revolve around human spiritual awakening through connection with deeper layers of the cosmos and familiarity with a mysterious race that has historically contributed to the evolution of human civilization. Traces and signs of their presence can still be found in the modern era. The first writings about the Wingmakers were published on a website of the same name on the 23rd of November 1998. They were written by an individual named James Mahu, who we now know as a pseudonym. The main focus of the discussions, delivered in the voice of these mysterious extraterrestrials, is the inner force within each individual that can be used as a portal to access interdimensional worlds. This is a state where, eventually, the human body is shed, like an astronaut removing their spacesuit, and the individual realizes their true essence and their infinite, boundless nature. At this moment, humanity understands that everyone, and everything, is equal and collectively forms a single unified whole. The Great Gateway opens only when all of humanity, as a singular entity, transcends the framework of suppression that binds it and emerges as a superior force. The central theme of the discussions is the idea that all of humanity is fundamentally one entity, but a hidden force prevents them from uniting. The resemblance of this description to the theory of the law of one and ancient Persian teachings was the primary motivation behind our explorations. In this video, and the subsequent ones, we aim to delve deeper into the Wingmakers and the discussions surrounding them. Based on the explanations provided by the Wingmakers, they are introduced as a mysterious and highly advanced extraterrestrial race that has influenced human civilization throughout history. Some of the current archaeological artifacts are said to result from their presence among humans. Moreover, they have left encrypted messages and hidden technologies on Earth that could aid in humanity's enlightenment and self-discovery. They were in communication with an individual named Dr. Jamisson Neruda, described as a scholar and linguist employed by the Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization, which is responsible for reverse engineering extraterrestrial technologies. After his contact with the Wingmakers, Dr. Neruda left the organization to reveal their secrets to humanity. He released significant portions of this information through 5 major interviews. One of the first and perhaps most important topics discussed in Dr. Neruda's interviews pertains to a deception that has influenced all aspects of human life. The idea is that humanity's 3-dimensional reality has been programmed to appear real, when in fact it is not. A painful reality where the human body serves as the host for an infinite and boundless force. However, beings from dimensions different from Earth have suppressed this force and trapped it in the current physical dimension through deceptive schemes. Evidence supporting this claim includes scientific calculations and discussions suggesting that the world we know has been designed using mathematics and computer codes. This implies that we are living in a simulated, confined reality, akin to laboratory mice in a controlled environment governed by superior forces. Ancient mystical beliefs also align with this, often describing human perception of the world and the world itself as an illusion. While mystics of their time lacked appropriate scientific terminology to articulate this illusion, contemporary scientists are increasingly uncovering new evidence pointing to the notion that we live in a programmed reality. But who is or are the programmers of this world? In part of the conversations between the Wingmakers and Dr. Neruda, Earth is described as a unique planet. Due to the special properties of its core, Earth facilitated the materialization or formation of matter, transitioning from an interdimensional planet with sound frequencies to one composed of matter. Before these changes, Earth was primarily composed of water, inhabited by a civilization called the Atlanteans, who lived in an environment within this watery realm. As discussions continue, it becomes clear that the term Atlanteans refers to the civilization of Atlantis. According to the narrative, they were Earth's first inhabitants during an era before the existence of today's physical world. However, with the arrival of the Anunnaki on Earth, the transformation towards a physical world began. The Anunnaki approached the Atlanteans and reached an agreement with them to extract a substance near Earth's core, a substance we now know as gold. Contrary to widely accepted beliefs, neither the Anunnaki nor the Atlanteans were three-dimensional beings with physical bodies. Instead, they existed on Earth in higher frequency dimensions. The Anunnaki's need for gold was tied to regulating their frequency, as it was vital to their existence and survival. The planet from which the Anunnaki came to Earth had 12 cities constructed from semi-transparent gold, which are believed to be the same cities mentioned in the Book of Revelation. Apparently, in exchange for extracting gold, the Anunnaki provided their advanced technology to the Atlanteans. As more gold was extracted from Earth's core, the planet's environment began transitioning towards physical and material states, eventually becoming solid. This process, over thousands of years, also affected Earth's gold reserves, rendering them physical and material. Since the Anunnaki's ethereal nature prevented them from mining gold in its physical form on Earth, they required physical or material bodies to continue their extraction efforts. This situation has been compared to astronauts needing specialised suits to operate in environments outside Earth. Similarly, the Anunnaki needed a physical covering to exist on an Earth that was becoming increasingly material. They conducted hundreds of experiments to create these physical bodies or suits. Alongside the Atlanteans, forces known as the Sirians and Serpents aided them in this endeavour. Over time, the Anunnaki faced challenges in extracting gold and began experiencing conflicts with the Atlanteans. To resolve this, they conspired with the Sirians and Serpents against the Atlanteans. The changing conditions of Earth are presented as the reason behind this alliance. They sought a better understanding of physical planets, and Earth, which was transitioning into a material world, seemed like a suitable laboratory for documenting their observations. During this process, the Anunnaki managed, after numerous experiments, to create the desired physical body for existing in the material world by combining their genetics with that of an Earth-based being. They then sought the necessary energy source to animate this body. You might guess the source: the Atlanteans. The only challenge for the Anunnaki was how to convince the Atlanteans to enter these physical bodies and remain trapped in them. Thus began a conspiracy by the Anunnaki, Sirians and Serpents to enslave the Atlanteans and imprison them in today's human bodies, turning the Atlanteans into the energy source for physical bodies on Earth. To connect this energy to physical bodies, the Sirians designed implants installed in various parts of the physical body. Programming these implants, essentially the main work of designing and evolving the first versions of humans, was assigned to a being named Marduk. By installing and activating these implants, a mechanism was created to control, monitor, and program physical bodies on Earth. Using this mechanism, Marduk later granted humans emotional capacities, removing their initial robotic-like nature. The first mission of the initial versions of humans on Earth was to serve the Anunnaki by mining gold. Over time, these early humans evolved due to both direct and indirect interventions, and their genetics changed through environmental factors and natural selection, ultimately leading to the modern intelligent human. According to Dr. Neruda, as Earth hardened and its energy field shifted to lower frequencies, becoming a physical planet, the Anunnaki were forced to leave. However, their legacy remained in the form of ancient advanced civilizations and archaeological remnants. A significant portion of Dr. Neruda's interviews about the WingMakers revolves around how the Anunnaki, alongside the Sirians and Serpents, managed to convince the Atlanteans to enter physical bodies and remain imprisoned in them, especially since the Atlanteans were described as advanced thinkers with highly developed civilization. The answer lies in the implants. When the Atlanteans donned the physical suit, or entered physical bodies, the implants were programmed to induce amnesia, disconnecting them from their infinite nature and making them unaware of their true origins. Atlanteans in human physical bodies became entirely focused on physical survival and reactive functionality. This ultimately resulted in cloned, identical beings with similar appearances and capabilities. The infinite force trapped in human physical bodies could be freed at the time of death, the end of the physical body's lifespan. However, the Anunnaki created multiple levels across different dimensions to recycle them. This process eventually became known as reincarnation. The first version of humans lacked reproductive ability. If a human died in a mining accident, a new physical body had to be created, a process that wasn't cost-effective for the Anunnaki. Thus, they sought to automate this aspect of their operations. The Sirians helped them develop an implant that enabled the creation of a more advanced version of humans with reproductive capabilities. The Serpents, a race with reptilian DNA, were distinct from the Anunnaki. They are described as carriers of life, responsible for seeding planets and establishing food chains. While they didn't technically participate in creating the first versions of humans, their role focused on providing sustenance and resources necessary for these humans. For more detailed discussions by Dr. Neruda, you can refer to the WingMakers website. If you don't have the time, stay with us for future videos, where we'll delve deeper into this topic.